Welcome to this episode of NerdSmithing. Today,
we have our biggest episode yet.
Biggest episode yet. There it is.
Really? That's our biggest episode?
That's it, man. That's the biggest episode. Well, it is Groot, so we do have to make it grow.
It's got to get bigger.
It's going to get bigger. Hopefully, it's going to get bigger. So,
all right, let's see what we can do here.
We're going to have to focus. All right. All right, here we go. That's it. That's the biggest episode.
Jeez, how'd you pull that one off?
It's with some good soil, some good water. Get that baby to grow. This is the 10-inch Groot. I believe it is the biggest pop because the other ones were 9, right?
Yeah, most of the others, they've made some 9-inchers back in the past.
Yep.
And we all thought they weren't going to do any more, but they decided to come out with this one for the Volume 2.
Yeah, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on. I mean, he got one and I got one. The story behind mine is a little irritating because I'm going to go on a rant here for a minute. Basically, they're Target exclusives, and it's called the Life Size Groot. And a couple days ago, what was it? A couple days ago, they started showing up, and we use a website to go to. It's BrickSeek. And if you've got the UPC or the DPCI number, you can check stocks on stuff. Well, we started noticing they were getting,
smaller and smaller as other stores were starting to show up.
Yeah.
So we knew they were selling them. So you kind of have to.
And so I called in. Target in my area opened at 7, and I called in about 7:30 and asked if they had any. They said that they did. The guy, he wouldn't say they had any, but all he would say is, "We're not selling until the 16th." And I was like, okay, that's fine. I understand. And then I started noticing throughout the day that the stock was on all the other places was dropping. The one near me didn't drop, but then I noticed that it started to around 6-ish. And so I figured it's only 5 minutes from my house. I'll run over there. So I get there, and right as I get there, one of the managers is selling 2 of them to a lady in front of me. And before the lady left, I asked the manager, "Are those the last 2? Do you have any more?" And she said, "Nope, these are it." And so I said, okay, and I kind of waited till the lady who bought them left because I wanted to ask her what was going on because I had called in earlier that day, and they said they wouldn't sell them. She told me that she had special ordered them, which I've been collecting for a while.
No.
And I know that there's some places like GameStop, you can pre-order their stuff. Toys R Us does not. So I knew she was just straight up lying to my face. So I got irritated. I didn't really say anything because I'm not really that kind of guy, but I was definitely very irritated. So I kind of just walked out, and as I'm walking out of Target, there's a car sitting or like a big SUV Suburban sitting right in front of me. And as I come around the corner, the guy's like, "Hey, were you the one looking for the Groot?" And I've had this happen to me before, and I figured he was going to say like $100 and it's yours. And that's what I've had that happen before. And so I was like, "Yeah, I am. I'll just get it when I can." And he's like, "I actually just got the extra one to resell in the Seattle group that we're in for regular price." And he's like, "Since you want it and you're here," he's like, "I'll sell it to you for the regular price." And I was like, "That's freaking awesome." So I ran in to get some cash, because I didn't have any cash on me. He waited outside. I came back out. His wife and him were in the car, and I asked him, I said, "Well, did you special order these?" And he's like, "No, we didn't." But he actually showed up at 7 that morning.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't sell them to him. And so when he came back and they sold them, he bought the 2. And so it was really cool. He's a new collector in the group, and so he's only been collecting like 3 months, but it was very cool of him to do that for me. Just irritated me about the Target stuff because I knew, being is what it is. So, but yeah, just a little rant, a little irritating. It happens with a lot of places. They'll either different dates or they just, for some reason, they pick a date, and it's like all the other stores were selling them, but this one near me, everyone else. So,
I mean, that's always the nice thing is to be in part of those forums too,
Mm-hmm.
to be in those local forums. A lot of times, they always try to look out to help each other.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's the plus to being in a collecting group is that, you always have that. And then with Mike and I, because we both collect and we're in the same area, it makes it really nice because we can be like right on with each other. If there's something somewhere where they're like, only got 2 left. We can pick up both and get it for the other one, you know, so that way we all get what we want. So, but done with the rant. Now on to the pop. So it is awesome. The detail on it is very, very cool. It's a bobblehead, just like all the other marbles. And that's one of the things with the old ones is the neck.
Yeah, that's what happened with like a lot of the some of the Disney ones, like the Daryl Dixons, the Buzz Lightyears. Maleficent was one of the worst ones about
That's
that.
what I heard, yeah.
Where because they weren't bobbleheads, the necks would break. So the heads would come up, but if you're like an inbox collector, you wouldn't notice it.
Yeah, so there was a lot of sold, and I saw some people who would buy them, and the minute they came out of the box, they were obviously broken beforehand.
Yeah.
So that's always an issue with when you're going to buy the 9 inches is to make sure, you know, you can't really tell because they may not take them out of the box either, so they may never know. You know, yeah. But this one being bobblehead,
this one's got a gigantic spring on the inside.
That thing's not going anywhere.
This spring is huge on the inside of this thing.
Yeah, and so this is kind of a comparison to the
other Baby Groot version.
Yeah,
that you can get. This is the Hot Topic version that you can get here.
Yep.
And
I mean, the difference in the two is just, I mean, so small. I mean, he can almost hold himself in his own hand. So, and then I've also got
brought some of the other ones out.
Yeah,
too,
this one it was a Loot Crate exclusive, and so it's got like a clear hand that glows in the dark. And I love the paint on this one. Actually, this one's really cool. But this is like more of a regular size pop.
Yeah, and that's the one from the first.
Yeah, that's from the first line. It was like I think it was the first Loot Crate exclusive. I didn't get it personally. I bought it from someone else.
Yep.
So, and then this little guy is the keychain that you could get in the pot. I don't have any of the potted Groots. This is actually just my wife's.
Yeah,
she took it off her desk. So
there was 3 of those ones. 3 or 4 of those ones.
Yeah, there was the Christmas one that had like some snow on it. And there was the plain white one.
Yeah,
and then there was
I think
the red one,
blue one as well.
Yep.
Then there was also the one you could have gotten with the rocket as well, I believe.
I do have that one.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket's holding the little pot.
Yep.
I have that somewhere around here. But yeah, the one thing with the Groots and the Rockets is they got really played out.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like how the Deadpools are.
Yeah.
How the honestly with the Batmans.
The Batmans.
There's just so many of them.
Yep.
That it's just. I mean, but they're money makers. That's just how
they
it
are.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always gonna sell because. I mean, come on.
And with the new movie and with the way they did the new little Groot, I mean everybody's
he's adorable.
Yeah, everyone's loving it. I mean the details on these are really good. But like I said, it just got to the point where there's so many of them, and it just kind of overwhelmed the market.
But this one was definitely a must.
Yeah.
A must have.
Oh yeah.
For any collection, I mean, it's massive. You don't know where to put it, but it's just awesome.
Do you have your box?
Yeah,
we'll show you the box.
I have the box. The box itself is honestly.
Yeah.
So,
and this is like a regular size box compared to that one.
But honestly, I think I was seeing somewhere too is that this actually isn't as big as the Daryl boxes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
They're actually smaller this way.
Oh.
Than they are.
But, yeah, they're still huge. I mean, they're still massive.
It's like they just kind of did what they did with the Juggernaut and stuff like that, where they
crammed them in there.
It's the same size box as the other one, but they just kind of filled them out a little bit more.
Yeah. So that is it. I will
definitely Target. Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten it yet, they should. I think we were hearing that there's going to be, if it's out in your stores, you should be able to get it. Again, they'll possibly get a restock.
Yeah. And they all, I mean, the 16th was the release date that everyone kept talking about, but there was no actual release date that we all saw. And we watched the forums pretty closely, and we know a lot about the stuff before it's coming out and all that. So it was kind of weird how that worked. And like I said, the one near me was like the only one that actually was like really sticking to it.
Trying to follow the rules to a point.
And that happens at places. So
and that's always the thing is that we always get release dates, but it tends to end up showing up earlier.
Yep.
There's very few times where it's actually been later than.
And there are that fact too. Like I've pre-ordered stuff from GameStop, and it's supposed to come out on this day, and then they don't get it or they'll get like 2 in their shipment.
And it just happens like some of the ones you get like Entertainment Earth, where they'll give you like a specific month when it should come out, but sometimes they don't get their shipments in time, and
Yeah,
So-
they don't tend to give you days as much as just it's going to come out in April or May or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but that is it. This is the biggest pop out there. Our biggest episode so far. I don't think they'll make any bigger. Well, I guess there is one bigger pop, and I'll put a picture of it up. And it is the statue that they made from Emerald City Comic Con.
Oh yeah, that one's
last year.
That one's pretty
That's
cool.
like 6,
if you
7
haven't-
foot tall.
If you haven't gone to any of the conventions, a lot of times if what Funko's at, that thing is so cool to see.
Yeah.
So
But that is it. And yeah. Like
and subscribe.
and stay awesome.
Take care.